Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your top Bitcoin holding 71,006. Can we get this pump to 73K? Or are they going to play with us? We're ranging right now. We're going to see what happens. Stay focused, stay disciplined. I'm going to be live in 9 minutes and 54 seconds. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, making the show exactly what it is. God bless you all. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. I hope I didn't blast you right there in just my own ears. I'm sorry, I ran to the bathroom. I had to go to the bathroom right as the show began. I was getting distracted. I got people in the house doing construction, all sorts of stuff, asking me questions. I can't do this. I ain't got time for all that. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. I can't stay in distractions. God bless everybody here. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's take a look at BTC. Let's see what's happening. Let's get this show on the road. God bless my lifers. 71,400. Let's take a look at Bitcoin getting tight inside the situation. I'm looking for a long here with a stop loss below the 200 of the 15-minute. Can we get it? It's a very strange price action, very iffy times, a lot of, news-driven headlines. But hey, this is what I'm seeing. We're going to get back to this. But, if you want to just kind of get with me quickly before I do my top down, we're looking for something like this. I'm looking for this to get tight. I'm looking for this to bounce off the bottom of this trend line and boom, make a nice parabolic move here to the upside and not dump in my face and turn this into some type of So I'm looking for the bulls to win today. I want a position for the bulls to win. We got liquidity to the upside. We should smash into 72.5 and 73,000. That's what BOOKMAP says. It's the most liquidity. It's where all the hungry stop losses are. Let's go and eat. Let's go and take them out. Shout out to all the people here. Let me see who's in the chat just off the bat. We got Jay Violet, 777s. Love that. Love is everything, 100%. I'm happy that's the first thing I saw. Let's go. I don't mind that. Let's go, baby. Yes, Bitcoin is in the bull flag, waiting for the good news catalyst to start the pump. That's what we're looking for. We're going to take a look at that 1 minute, that 5 minute, that 2 hour time frame. Yeah, song Ottawa by Valente. Yeah. Feeling like choosing violence today. Hey, anything could happen too. 71,450 for Bitcoin. So here, let's do our top-down analysis. Shout out to anyone that comes here to learn for free every single day. We're going to give you Bitcoin. And you could trade any asset in the world just like we trade BTC. Okay? You could trade this. So just learn Bitcoin, and then you could translate it into anything you want to trade. You could day trade. You can swing trade. You can be on the small time frames. People watch me to swing trade on the monthly, to, swing trade on the weekly. And get that education. And there's also people that like to sit on the 1 minute and make 10 trades a day with me, 15, 20 trades a day. So you could be a high frequency day trader or you can be a long-term swinger. You're going to love this channel. It's just going to give you the information that you need. So the 1 month, beautiful, right? If we can close a green candle next to a red one, that can be the beginning. Every single time we've done that, we've had at least some. That one there gave us a pump. That one there, that one was interesting. It was a bullish engulfer. But you did have 2 wicks, right? And there was some bear div there too as well. But wow, but see, when you had a downtrend, that was an uptrend, not mind you too. But when you've been in a downtrend for a while and you get that downtrend for a while, you get the green next to the red. Front running that one would have been amazing. So that's why I front ran this. You never know. The end of the month could get a huge pump. Like we could pump to 82,000 by the end of March. You never know. Like I am open-minded to believe that anything that I don't even believe is possible, the second I start telling myself what Bitcoin can do, I'm lost. You know what I mean? You can speculate somewhat. Okay, we're between the range of 90 and 60, whatever you want to do. But for the most part, I just look at the charts. People always ask me, what do you think of this, man? What do you think of that? And I go, I don't think. And they look at me like I'm being rude, and I'm like, no, and I joke around. I'm like, and I say, no, but I don't think. I say, I just look at the charts, man. I said, if the charts tell me to do something, I'll do it. If the charts tell me not to do something, I won't do it. I'm really simple. I've got my mind simplified when it comes to Bitcoin and trading. And so the first thing I want to see is get a candle close above this resistance, which is going to be where this candle basically had the high, the open and the high, which was 73,787, right? So that's going to be about, let's say 74K. So I want to see the monthly close above 74,000. That's the first thing that I would like to see. And then let's go to the 2 week. 2 week doesn't look, I keep talking about how right now, the bears are still in control as far as trend. Look, you have a high, you have a low, you have a lower high, lower low. You have to assume that you're going to be putting in a lower high on the 2 week chart and continuing further to the downside. I know that's sad to say, even for me, a long-term Bitcoin bull. But it does suggest we could be seeing some low somewhere down here at $52,000. Also, Bitcoin has come to the 786 retracement in its lifetime. Oh, I'm in long. My goodness. Yeah, I was using log last night. Yeah, be careful when you're in log, Oof. Threw me off so bad, right? I was about to say that wasn't that the high of the 3-day chart, right? Oh, the weekly. Hold on, the weekly, the monthly shouldn't change the high though. Yeah, 738. Yeah. Just making sure. I don't want to be saying anything that ain't right. Anyway, thank gosh we're off a log. Sorry about that. So far, we were in bigger time frames, so it didn't throw anything up. But had we got down to anything smaller, it would have been crazy. So 2-week chart, looking okay. Indecision doji. It has some time, right? It has 4 days and 10 hours to close, but it's getting closer to crunch time here. And you only get 2 of those a month, so. And then the weekly, looking okay. Looking like we may be able to close a green week. But I'm always weary now when the week gets this green, because then it just, lately, whenever I've seen this, it turns into one of these. I'd rather a struggle throughout the week and then get a pump at the end of the week. Whenever I see a massive pump throughout the week, every time I've seen a healthy candle, except for this one, we finally had one. That was the first time ever. But oh, look, this one, we had a healthy pump. No. Healthy pump. No. That one was okay. This was a beautiful green candle. Remember, the red ones are beautiful green candles that looked great, and then no. I remember one of these. I think this candle was huge. It broke above the both. This thing was hugely green. It was massive. Everything looked great. No, they took it to the downside. Yeah. So every pump has been a dump. One eventually pump will turn into the big one. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, one of those big pumps is going to be it, and I'm going to be here for it. And see, you have to be relentless. You have to be. And at one point, there's going to be such an obvious trade that's going to be so obvious to my trading style, and I'm going to take it very large, and it's going to pay me, and it's going to be the bigger, I really started to ask myself, there really only needs to be 10 or 20 big trades a year. Everything else in between, you know what I mean, is because there should be this one moment where your style gives you this opening, where there's just a higher probability. I'll show you mine. I'll go back in time and show you mine, where I found price was just, where you're just basically you feel 100, you always feel like you should win the trade, right? But I'm always okay, it looks okay, but we have a few things we got to look at. Some volatility here in 71,450 and 350. We're kind of we're shaking around here. Price action is getting violent. People are buying and selling. There's a frenzy here for this price action for Bitcoin. There's angry. People are mad. People want to sell. They want to take their profits. But everyone around the world wants to buy because, it's getting scarce. And then you got war and you got pain and you got all this. Come on, man. There's a war. What, you stash your money in your pocket? So when you get pulled over at the whatever territory rest stop or something, they can frisk you and take all your money? Or you're going to go stash it in Bitcoin? Basically, you plan to leave. Say you're okay, it's getting bad. I plan to leave in 3 weeks. All right, so you start putting money in the bank. Why? So you can send it to Coinbase, right? This is what someone's doing. I'm just saying around the world, right? Next thing you know, they start buying tons of Bitcoin, right? They send it to the hardware wallet. They get the hardware wallet, right? They sew a little, maybe they put it with USB drives or whatever. They make it somewhat, or maybe they put it inside of a child's toy, right? Open it up, put it inside the child's toy, and they flee, right? And you do your thing, and you make it across to whatever border, to wherever you're going, and when you get out on the other side, you open up the child's toy, and inside is the millions of, whatever, hundreds of thousands of whatever you saved in Bitcoin. I mean, what else? So, you see civil unrest, you see geopolitical unrest, you see all these issues going around the world, and you wonder, why is it Bitcoin winning? You know what I'm saying? Why is it Bitcoin just winning? You know? So it doesn't make any sense to me, right? Because it's the answer for anyone that needs to get away at the right time, at a moment's notice, or they could prepare themselves. It has a couple weeks. If you have 3 weeks, Bitcoin is the best. 3 to 4 weeks, because it gives you enough time to get your money out of the bank, out of whatever you're in, and get it into Bitcoin. Yeah, you do have to use the banking system. There's no way to get cash to Bitcoin. I guess some people used to do this at shady places. I'm not going to talk about it, because it's not I don't care. It's not my, I don't, but I read about the beginnings of Bitcoin, and people would meet in a park and do all, Anyway, but those days are long gone, I mean, for most people, right? Yeah. The 3-day chart, could be in this higher low cup and handle. Very strong candle on the 3-day chart. Don't you think, BB?
Yes.
What are you doing coming in and out of the office, BB?
I'm so sorry, my computer was missing.
What is going on, my love?
We were using the
What are you doing, my sweet pea? My sweet pea. I love you. Thank you for everything, BB. Have a good day. Don't come in the office again. I'm just joking. No, but seriously, don't bother. So look, we got a low, we got a higher low. We have a third higher low in a row. I mean, you're getting some type of an uptrend here, but still, you know what I mean? You're in this like very strange flag. As far as I'm concerned, it's still a bear flag. Like we could go up and down for a couple more weeks and still don't, you know? So I'm in between still. I have the monthly trade open. As I said earlier, I've got the monthly, or yesterday, but I've opened up the trade on the monthly. Not risking tons of money, you know, but I'll make, you know, maybe I think we're around 30 grand if we go back to like 119,000. So, hey, you know, won't be the worst. And if I lose, I don't lose. You know, it's like basically, what am I doing there? It's literally like 2,000 for, if we get to 116,000, I'll make $19,000. That's what it is. Yeah. So if we get back to 116, I'll make 19,000. You know what I mean? And I think I can only lose like $1,200. So it's like a very low risk trade. I've never traded the monthly like this. But what I would like to do is if we get confirmation to add to the trade. You see what I'm saying? So it's the first time I'm beginning a bigger monthly trade. It's been open for a long time. So that's the way I analyze it as an analyst, because I've battled all those risks. I've gone in and out of so many trades in my life, right? And so my brain is all this time to think like, what were the best times and where were the odds the highest for you? And when should you maximize your behavior? You know, you spend a lot of time on a Monday, a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You traded all these days of the week, Sam. You did Saturdays, Sundays. You did it all 24/7 for the last 1,000, almost 2,000 days without a day off. You've traded everything. You traded 1 minute, 15. You know, you traded the NASDAQ. You traded gold. You traded Bitcoin. You traded all coins, everything that you could touch, meme coins. You know, you traded thousands, maybe over, you know, if I counted how many assets I traded in the last 5 years, it's got to be over 1,000. 2003, you know what I'm something crazy. So anyway, it's not about me. I'm just going over the story. So my brain has analyzed all this, and then now it's starting to get real picky because now it's had like deep analyzation. It's almost like a man who has been in multiple wars. First war, he uses his troops a certain way, right? He doesn't know. He's been in his first war. He's just got to win, right? Second war, he learned some things for the first war, and he tweaks it. By the third time he's in, or let's just say combat, by the third time he's in combat or he's moving his battalion, he's definitely going to learn for the first 2 times, and he's probably going to do something, hopefully, more opportune. Again, war is definitely unpredictable as well, despite what he does. I get those parameters, but you know what I'm saying. Same thing in trading. So I've had all this time to trade all these different things, and now I'm at the level where I'm like, okay, well, what now? You know what I mean? What is the most? What is going to be the best, highest play? You know, and that's what I always look for now. 3-day chart looks really good, bullish engulfing. But again, it could make a shoulder, head, shoulder. Like so many mixed signals here. Still could be in a bear flag. We're definitely not out the woods yet, as somebody said earlier, I saw in the chat. Right? Yeah. Someone said the screen is buffering. I have no idea why. The screen shouldn't be buffering. I have no idea why. It's, you know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody says the screen is buffering. I am seeing it. I didn't do anything, man. I haven't done anything. I haven't changed anything. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing I could do, man. Someone says all good for him in Canada. Yeah. And that other said it's not buffering on our end. So it could be a region or a section. The entire stream? Are you serious? That's so sad. No buffering for me in Ireland, somebody says. So guys are around the world and there's no buffering. I don't know what's happening. Someone says, yeah, it's on Sam's screen. Oh, I see it too. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Is that something that I'm using that's doing that? Yeah, you're right. I'm seeing that on my I see what you're saying. It's not buffering. It's just like a symbol. There's just a symbol on my screen. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I see it now. There's just a weird symbol there just doing something. Sorry, it was the iPhone connection. I'm so sorry. I see what you're saying. So you guys got me bugging out, man. Like, oh my gosh, bro. It's over now. It's over now. Yeah, it was the iPhone. I have a way to connect your phone. Honestly, really cool. If you use OBS, I'll give you guys a really cool tip, man. You can use your phone as your main camera, as a webcam. And so you could use two phones as a webcam. Really cool idea. I thought your chart wasn't loaded. Yeah. Me too. I thought it was the internet, man, and you guys had me bugging out. I'm like, oh, gosh. I said, buffering, man. The internet's been fine for days. You know what I mean? And it was this right here the whole time. Anyway, now it's not doing it. But anyway, let's get back to brass tacks here. I got distracted for sure. Okay. And you can see, man, when I'm in the zone, I get very frustrated when I get taken out of the zone. I'm like, definitely got some type of Asperger or something going on. Anyway, so we're watching this key level, and you could just see, like, it's just in some type of, it's in this range. We go from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, bottom of the range, top of the range, bottom of the range. I would only suggest we're headed back to the top of the range unless, you're going to make this shoulder, this head in some type of right shoulder, which to me is very, very possible too as well. So honestly, Bitcoin's in a funny bit of a pickle here. It's a very interesting place to be. And I'm watching all these different trades here on Bitcoin, on the NASDAQ. Sam, please, can I swap my cash prize I want in a month in your group instead of possible? I have always wanted to give it a go. Sure, man. Did you win? You're the one who, yeah, Tom, yeah. It was you yesterday, 725. Of course, man. Jump on into the group, brother. Email my wife and said I'd like to exchange the 100 for a month in the group. You're in, brother. Welcome. Thank you for being with us. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. You try to give someone something and they want more value from you. They don't even want cash. Cash is fiat garbage, man. They're like, I want to be around you and I want to be around your teaching. If that's not the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, thank you. Thank you, brother. God bless you, man. Hey, ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. So thank you so much. God bless you. Appreciate that. Okay, further 22, 12-hour. Interesting. 8-hour time frame coming back to that 200 moving average. Likely to tap the 200. It's likely to gap up to that 200. It's looking good. It's close enough to the 21. It could happen. Here we are on the 4-hour, which has been very interesting to me, to say the least, right? And, I found this falling wedge. We talked about how this could make an inverted head and shoulder, and technically it did make the shoulder and went to break out, and now it's kind of deciding, are you going to break out? Are you playing games? Like, what are you doing? Right? And there's a couple ideas here for Bitcoin. Like, one that I showed you was like, we're in this ascending triangle, and I called this yesterday before it happened. Let me kind of just show you. This bounce was beautiful, and it's how we play. Look, we came to the 200 moving average. You get in here with a stop below. That was the trade I made yesterday. You're still in the money if you made that trade, you see? I made other trades beside that since then. But the idea was to ape into... The idea is to ape into Bitcoin here. So you're in the Discord, you're listening to me, and I keep it simple. I keep it very simple, right? And right there you can see the post, but let's see where it was. Wow, I post a lot, so I'm going over a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, so we took a short. So here's my prediction for the next 36 to 48 hours, right? And this was yesterday at 3:24 p.m., right? That we would come here and get a bounce off the bottom of this trend line, you see? And come back to the top, probably get rejected, start to get tight in here. What happened is we broke out a little bit more, and now we got a candle right here, you see? Like, but this, first of all, the first thing happened, then we get tight. Now, not really a prediction, right? Because then you can see but this, I was looking for the bounce at least. And then I wanted to see how price action would progress from there. I leaned into a short at 350. I took the short. What happened there? I'm leaning to open after another short scalp. Oh, yeah. 30-minute looks quite bearish. I did not open the trade. Sorry. So I opened a scalp earlier that day. Yes. Made 17%. It was about 390, 380. And then took, took the trade. Then I wanted to short again. Was like, held back. Right now, no trade. Right? And it said right now traders. I was like, no trade. My goodness, But we crossed the 1 minute 200. I saw that, right? I didn't get in, and I saw us just rip. And I was like, dang, man, there it goes. And then I was like, I aped along in the 4 hour, stopped below the 200 MA, just got in. Started to see that the 4 hour was going to make that bigger move, okay? And that's simple trading. That's just using the candle bodies, one next to the other, putting the stop below the 200 moving average. I do this over and over again. I teach this stuff every single day. If you see the trade, that was here. You put your stop here, and look, I mean, eventually you would have made it was this one right here. We got in a little bit above here, probably there, but boom, you got a nice 3-candle move up to the upside into the green, And that's what I look for when I'm looking for a trade. I'm looking for simple entries. I'm looking for when most people are bearish, where I can take advantage of a move, okay? So, okay, and now here we are, right? So we got the bounce. We're kind of in the zone. This is where I'm like, okay, now, what are we figuring out now? And I've been working at it all morning, kind of looking at it a few different ways, seeing what the most bearish scenario is, seeing what the bullish scenario is, If we'd be really honest with ourselves, there's still this idea, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder. Like this could just end up being just a massively complex head and shoulder. We already see how the daily could end up, this could be a right shoulder on the daily. We already looked at that, just a bigger picture here. So, and it would be this and this, right? It would be that. But so there's an idea here that we're still somewhat bearish. Like we really have to get back above 70, in my humble opinion, that 75, 70, like we got to break. Because that's your high. I mean, otherwise you're making a lower high and, so you made a low, you made a higher low, you made a higher high. It's great. And you did it on the daily, you did it on the 4 hour. This has to continue now, further to the upside. Bitcoin at 71,350, really struggling to continue momentum. Started this morning looking pretty nice, but seems to me like it's quote-unquote rolling over, right? So let's zoom in now into the 1 hour time frame, which was my last, this is kind of what I had to use. There's really nothing else we got going on right now that can give us, the information as fast as we want. You zoom into the smaller time frames. Why? Because they change faster. Because they change faster, they can indicate something. If this loses trend and the 200 starts to drop down, I mean, it's the beginning of what could be even more bearish. We had a nasty dump. That's the first thing that would have to happen, right? So I'm really looking bullish. Like I like how the 21's crossing on the 1 hour time frame. I like how we're consolidating. I'd really like to see this break out nicely after all the moves and all the time Bitcoin has spent consolidating. It's like to see that move up to 75,500. First break would be 73K. No strong bear div. A little overbought on the stochastics RSI, which isn't a good sign. Usually that means you're going to come down for a dumpy. I don't like to get in when the Stokes are high. I get in when the Stokes are low. So that's not a great sign on the 1 hour time frame. You could almost say we're losing the trend line already here on the 15-minute. Interesting. We zoom back into the 5. Yeah, and the 5 was in a beautiful flag, looking really nice. I even had it out in the group. I said, man, this looks like a, But I even said today, man, there's something odd about today. I can't believe it. And then the crazy thing is we're getting no data, which is great. Like what I mean is great. Like we're not getting, Forest Factory, we had no red folders for 3 days. It just doesn't matter. We're finally getting days off from the nonsense. And it's still, there's always going to be something to throw off price action, it feels like lately. So right now, you're looking for the 5 to stay above the 200. The 5 uses this as kind of a double top now, if you look at it, which it looks like it could. You know, it looks very double toppy to come right back down to here. You're losing the 200. We're getting a move further to the downside. So, not a great look. You really got to have to bounce here off this trend like now, in my humble opinion. The next 10, 20 minutes, you got to be somewhere back above here 2 hours from now. Otherwise, this is likely going to go further down. And it doesn't look amazing right now for BTC. All right. It started looking okay enough for pull me in. I took a scalp of the 1 minute. I sold it for very small gains, about $100. It wasn't amazing. And now I'm looking to take another scalp right now, but it's a bit sketchy, right? I'm in the scalp, actually. I got in that trade on the I'll show you. I got in that trade. About to kind of break even on the morning. On weeks here, like I'll show you. So I'm thinking, okay, the 21's above. We're going to make a move. We're making this nice shoulder, head, right shoulder. We get tight and then just a rejection, and then we slowly bleed down out, right? So I'm sitting there down 166. Soul break on the daily. Will it retest? Might indicate Bitcoin going to incoming. Yeah, Bitcoin or gold? Bitcoin. I'm Satoshi Nakamoto, the cucumber man. I buy Bitcoin. Lately, I've been buying Bitcoin, mainly focused on buying Bitcoin, right? Whenever I see these lower days. But the fear and greed was at 5. It was just at 8. It's bounced back to 14. It's really good levels to be jumping on in at 5. And so I just felt like we had to buy at 5, which I did. I'm less reluctant to buy right now. We had the 60s. This looks like Bitcoin's going. No, this isn't what I was looking for today. This isn't the structure that I like. I'm already. It's not. I'm not into this. So I cut off the long the second it doesn't go my way. I don't sit and wait. I keep the losses small. Like, even if it bounces back, so be it. I can put myself fine right at this wick, and now it has to bounce here. Strange price action to say the least here for BTC, right? So this isn't like I usually wouldn't trade structure like this. I would trade this structure. It's lost the structure already, which has me turned off. I get into like really good dynamic price action. I like when the chart actually looks good to me. Like the symmetricalness and the key in the 45-degree angles of a bullish chart, they do something to the mind for me. When everything's all set up and it looks nice, like this bull flag that we saw this morning, like this is that first flag, like that looked beautiful. It pumped. I took profits. We moved on, right? This one too. This is the first trade here that I got into, right? We saw that we were above the 200. We got the pump. It kind of went sideways. That's actually still in the money if you took that scalp. Again, it was a scalp, not meant to really be held for periods at a time, right? So for me, like my beautiful dream is over. Like my dream was this was making a nice flag and it was going to pump. If the dream ends, it's time to usually cut off the trade. I'll give it some grace here just because, who knows we could get news in 2 seconds. The war is over, ceasefire, who knows, right? And it pumps to the upside. So that's kind of what I've been watching now for BTC. Right, from the 15-minute on down into the 1, and from the monthly on down to the 15. That's why we call a top-down analysis. We give you we start with the biggest time frames we can, and we kind of keep going backwards. My trading style involves using multiple time frames in conjunction with each other. Yesterday, I taught the students in the group how to use the 4-hour 200 moving average in conjunction with entries on the smaller time frames. We found flags on the 1 minute and the 5 that gave you the entry once you knew that the 4-hour was going to break out. I showed you how you could enter 2 ways. You could have the 4-hour trade open while you scalp the 1 minute, right? High risk as well. Lower risk is to use the 4-hour and to let it sit. Take a nice 8-hour, 16-hour trade. You woke up the morning, you would be in the money still from that trade, right? So rising wedges also can break down 68% of the time. This is technically a rising wedge, right? So the wedge is rising up, bearish retest, and it could come back down here to 69,000, right? So this is something that you have to take into account. You have to be ready for it to happen. Bitcoin really battling 70,500 and having major resistance too at about 72K. So now we're going to have daily resistance. Today, we tried to get above 72K. We were unable to get above it. We seem to have some good support, but not, the strongest support we see is 70,150, which means we might see a bit of a long squeeze here. It might go get the longs right now for Bitcoin. I'm still hanging in this trade, but it's not looking great. I did not trade last night. I haven't, I did not take, I traded this scalp here and that was it. I've had 3 really good weeks of trading. I just don't want to push it. We hit that crazy reversal too this week. So I'm just, I've been less greedy this year than I was last year. I'll be honest. I was greedy last year. Not in a sense, I was, in a trading sense. As a person, I feel like, we can always be susceptible. And I pray to God every day to keep greed out of my life and to make sure that I'm humble and make sure that my gratitude towards God goes first before everything. Wake up in the morning. Thank you, dear Lord, for everything in my life. When I have a moment and I'm sitting alone, thank you for everything you've been giving me. Thank you for my kids being healthy. Just literally in a constant state of gratitude because I have no other place to be throughout the day, Someone said gold is breaking up. Interesting. Yeah, and this might actually take the NASDAQ down too. We might, so look, this is kind of an ugly double top. You see it? See if there's something I'm not seeing on the bigger picture. I mean, you're still above the 200 or the 15, which is a good sign. I'm just, I was looking for a scalp. So even if this were to hit me up and keep dumping, keep pumping, I wouldn't care. I was looking for this scalp to play out. This is what I was focused on. It didn't happen, right? They ended up playing me. So we had a nice run up though. Kind of the sell was 72K at resistance. And there we go. Now it's breaking down and that's an M. Look at it's an M pattern. That looks like it's going to take a dump. A little bit of a bounce there. That's crazy. And I just, the only market structure I see out of this is a descending triangle. I don't see anything that makes sense to me. Almost looks like it left this channel, maybe came back into it, or it's but this is the best thing I can come up with here. Maybe it bounces up, goes sideways, and still dumps. Maybe it puts it a double bottom. It technically would be a double bottom here, but that's very ugly price action on the 15. Not my cup of tea. That's my cup of tea. That's a bull flag with the 21 above the 200. You see? See how we lost the 21, dumped to the 200. We're below the 21 here too, so okay, you can go around the world. So can we get the bounce here? This is weird, huh? And again, it seems like price action just waiting on headlines. And people are trying to figure out what's happening today. I asked Grok for the latest news, and it doesn't seem to help much. I'm like, give me the greatest news. Give me a nice quick update for my trading group. I said a clean 2-minute focused update on the war, right? It says, hello, everyone. Here's your clean, focused 2-minute update of the war right now, March 25th. We're on a day 25 of the U.S.-Israel military campaign against Iran. I like how it did that. Israeli and American forces continue heavy airstrikes on Iranian missile sites, IRGC command centers, and military infrastructure across Tehran and other key cities. Over 3,000 strikes have been carried out so far. 3,000. It's mind-boggling when you think about it. Over the last 24 hours, Iran fired fresh waves of ballistic missiles towards Israel. Several got through air defense and hit areas around Tel Aviv and southern Israel, causing damage, injuries, and forcing millions in bomb shelters. Hezbollah is also firing rockets from Lebanon, keeping the whole region on high alert. On diplomatic side, President Trump said the U.S. is in productive discussions with Tehran and has put forward a detailed 15-point ceasefire plan. He claims major progression is being made. Iranian officials are strongly denying any talks are happening at all. The situation remains extremely tense and fast-moving, with civilian casualties rising on both sides and major ripple effects on global oil prices. That's the latest straight from the Iran war front. Drop your questions in the chat. Smash that like button if you want more updates. I'll keep you posted. Stay safe out there. Catch you in the next wartime update there. So, that's what I see happening. It seems to be just kind of unknown. And you can see the charts are saying the same thing. They don't have a lot of data for us, right? They don't have a lot of information. NASDAQ may be getting a bit of a move here to the upside. We'll talk about that right now. It's in a bit of a flag on the 15, looking better than Bitcoin. I look at the NASDAQ. I like the NASDAQ in this flag, 21 touching above the 200 moving average. That is my signal. It's what I do. I know it sounds boring, but it is what it is. It's kind of what happens over and over again. Don't blame me, blame the market. This is a flip to green. I am trading the Tech 100 right there. 800 for 2,500. See if we can get a nice little fat trade in here today. If this can rip to the upside, if we get a nice little short squeeze, I'll move my stop into position. See if we can take this trade down on BTCC. Shout out to anyone that trades all the different assets here on BTCC from, Apple, Bitcoin, Tesla, you name it. All in the same place with your tether. It's amazing. Tokenize your world with BTCC. Stop, Bitcoin overhead average show the 12-hour time frame. Crunch time, 48 hours. I like the 71.4 is an interesting place. We keep losing it, regaining it, losing it, regaining it. It seems to be, when we lose it, I see weakness. When we regain it, I see strength. Pattern is so sketchy right now. And, to say the least. I don't like this trade much anymore. I'm not saying, there's other, like I said, this ain't bad. The 15-minute right there, previous support as resistance. That's an SR flip right there. Resistance, bounce, 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 another bounce. Strong support so far at 71,250. Could end up taking us at least up, and then you get tight. So I see you're going to get very tight. And the crazy thing is, in like 2 hours from now, we might still take a nasty dump. Like, we're going to be in this, looks like we're going to be in some indecision, tight ranging throughout the day here from 71,000 up to 72. And either that or we're going to lose this level and take a dump. So we're either in a tight range or taking a dump. Like, I don't see a big pump cap. I mean, if you call this a pump, pumping up to 79, fine, you'll get a little, but I don't see a major move out of this wedge happening long until maybe later on today, if we get that, right? So that's kind of what I see happening for Bitcoin on the day. I got a pretty good handle on it. And, we got this live trade, seeing what can happen. It looks pretty weird. Right now, we're kind of at, I'm down $50 now on the day. I've made $100 scalp, and then I'm down 130.38, so $38, right? Maybe $50 with fees, so. NASDAQ looking to reclaim. It would be nice if the nasty Nas got a little bit of a move here back to the upside. It's going to get tight too. I see the NASDAQ getting tight. So something is brewing. We're seeing a lot of indecision, and we're waiting on news, man. So, exactly. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. So we're looking for this higher low of the 15. Look, low, higher high, higher low to kick in. We're looking for this to get tight. The bull, if you're bullish, you're looking for this to break out parabolically. Like St. John's. Friday night, St. John's plays a biggest game of basically one of the biggest games in history of the school. I'm an alumni of St. John's. If you didn't know, I did go to St. John's University around the time of J. Cole went there. I think we might have gone at the same time. Appreciate Lifer for the top data analysis. Hey, God bless you, seize the day. You've been around for a long time. God bless you. Thank you so much. Shout out to Sean Plays out there. Shout out to my man Flappy Folds. Shout out to Jim Leahy. Shout out to the real Don D. Shout out to Nerky 530P2. Shout out to Go Big Rad. Let's go Nebraska, my man. Shout out to J Chains in the house, my man. I met J Chains. You know when I met J Chains? For the first time ever, I had come to my first conference in my whole life. Real quick segue story, me and J Chains. J Chains is a beautiful history in our entire industry. If I could back, but he's been behind some of the biggest players in the game and he's never given up his love for crypto and his love for content. But I remember I went to this place in Miami. I went to Art Basel in Miami. First time ever. I got invited because, I got put in the crypto magazine and they were going to have it out at And so they said, you should come out. We'd like you to be there because we're going to have the magazine out. And it's crazy. The magazine was in Barnes & Nobles. I went in and saw my face in a magazine in Barnes & Nobles. It was crazy. Anyway, I thought I was going to become famous, you know. It all started so fast, you know. Takes a lot longer than I thought. So I go to this event, and these dudes are rapping. Next thing you know, I somehow ask if I can grab the mic or something. I don't even know how. I just got this adrenaline rush, and next thing they let me, and then I started rapping on stage. So crazy, man. And then I saw Jay Change in the crowd, and I went down, and I seen him, and I went up. He was sitting at a table next to my table. I was like, what up, man? And that's the day I met Jay Change, man. It was crazy, man. Big adrenaline rush for me. I was like, what am I doing? Like, it was so nuts, man. It was so nuts. And I had like a suit on. Like, I looked like this. People were like, what is this guy doing? I never expected this guy to rap. It was a pretty cool event, too. It was well done, and, you know. But that's my Jay Change story. And that was what? That was in 2001. That was 5 years ago. Coming up in, I think that was November of 2001. November or of October of 2001. That's when I started traveling and going like to conferences and events and stuff, you know. 5 years ago, man. That's crazy. There's footage of that somewhere. There is footage of me on stage doing that. I think it, you know. You're so funny. Samblies, spit something for us. Yeah. Everyone always get no. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on it. If you stay tuned till the end, maybe I'll spit you a bar too. I'll spit you some bars. So, you know, I don't know. I'm just not in love with the price action right now. It looks to me like more like a double top. Like, we got rejected. We needed to move. It did not happen. Looks like we're coming back down to possibly this 200 and taking a bit of a dump easy. I don't know for sure. It's been indecisive for the last few days. This has been very interesting price action to trade. It provides the volatility. We do get the model when we get above the 200. Things work. It hasn't been entirely difficult every time, but we know that the thing is this. Usually we get a move and we start going in a direction, and then we get the model. The only thing I know is like we could get the model any second. We could get a dump any second. It just seems to be a lot more like hopscotch trading. You know what I mean? Like, jump over here. No, jump over there. No, jump over here. No, over there, then. No, it might be over there. No, it might be over there. And you can feel it in the charts. Like, the charts have never felt so indecisive, right? That, to me, on the 1 minute is a descending triangle, right? I mean, if you really had to place it, that looks like it's coming down. Possible short scalp to the downside there for BTC. That's why whenever you're invalidated on your trade, cut the trade off early. Don't take a hit. Why take a $4,000 hit, $2,000 hit, $1,000 hit, heck, $700 hit? Why? You don't have to. Create a strict idea to your trade, and if it's invalidated, get out of the trade. Don't sit in the trade. Don't take a beat down. Look, take a small loss. $200 in low is simply to get back. I tell my students this all the time. A $100 account loses $100. It now has to make, right, 11% to get the money back, right? It's got to make, because it's at 90. If it makes 10%, it's at 99, right? So it's got to make 11% to get the money back. Maybe even a little more. I don't know exactly the number, but you know what I mean? Say it loses $200 and now it's at $800. And now it needs to make 25% to get the money back. What if it loses $500? Just a 50% loss. And now it needs to make 100% to get the money back. Now, people don't realize is every time you lose more, it's harder to get the money back. You lose $900 out of 1,000. You now have to make 1,000% gain. You have to 10x your money, right? You have to 10x the $100. So it's funny. You lose 90%. You think you just have to make 90% back. No, now you have to make 1,000% back. So if you make sure you're only losing smaller amounts when you lose, much easier to maintain the account, to break even, and to have big capital when the market's correct, and to keep yourself trading. Right? It's important. Look, there's the stop, got hunted. Yeah, I mean, the overall idea that I have this morning that I was going for is it's still okay on the 1 hour time frame. The bigger time frame's okay. But it does look sketchy. It does look sketchy. What we're looking for, though, is for this 21, which is that's a bullish sign for me on the bigger time frame. Really, you're looking for this to flag out above the 200, really, in my mind. That's kind of an idea I was looking at on the update this morning, right? Like, You know, we could say, well, maybe we've already broken out of this and we've done whatever this could have done. Like, we did our thing here. We now need to make a tighter triangle. You see what I'm saying? This could be a beautiful trade. This might be the trade of the day here. So it may not have been the scalp that's going to win. This could be the bigger trade. The key is to get the 21 above the 200. The key is to get price action moving sideways inside of a bit of a flag here. Could also see this. I mean, that's this bigger idea I have on the 4 hour. Like, that's that, and it's technically a big symmetrical triangle too, which is a bit sketch. So to me, today is all about the 1 hour 200 moving average. We can stay above the 1 hour 200. We can kiss the 21. We can consolidate. There's a long here, possibly in 6 hours, that will make me some gains. Other than that, you're scalping small time frames on news. You know, like you could technically try to enter this long, you know, oh, I'm going to bounce right back here. Possible. I wouldn't do it. To me, it doesn't fit my risk parameters, right? I mean, you could maybe pull a fib here. I hate that. I dislike that goes like that. Let me see. I should be able to go backwards. I should be able to flip that thing. Right? Anyway, it's almost the 786. It's at the 618 Fibonacci retracement. You know, there could be a nice little crazy scalp here on a small time frame. This is what the 1 hour has to do now. Right? So you have people that see this as a double top that are short. I believe they're in the better probability. That's why I'm obviously not long right now. Right? Dang, man, trading has been tough on the live. Draw fib backwards, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. No, but you should be able to right-click the Fibonacci level, hit the settings, and then just change it to right side. There it is. Yeah, it wasn't scrolling down for whatever reason. There you go. Yeah. So if I were to take it from this impulse here, because that's kind of where this thing kind of ran up, bounced. You see we're very in like the 786, in between the 786 and the 618 fib. Actually, yeah, let me lower it. We're right. Yeah, we were at basically the 618. It's ugly, but it's still there, you know. You can really feel the world just waiting on news, right? And the same thing, that NASDAQ trade still sideways. We'll see. The NASDAQ trade looks more promising right now. Like if I had to put money in one of them, it would be the NASDAQ trade. Just because look at that rounded bottom, the inverted head and shoulder, the curvature of the 200. But again, it still looks a bit sketchy, right? So really want to see a bounce here on the 15-minute. We don't want to lose the 200 moving average. Same here, you know, 5-minute. We don't want to lose the 200 moving average in the 5-minute time frame. You do that, that's you know, we're probably going to drop down to 69. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP and what BOOKMAP is saying. It keeps liquidity, kind of tells us where the biggest load of liquidity is. And it's telling us we got a bunch of liquidity all the way up here at about 72,550, right? So if it was going to go anywhere, the deepest red is kind of right there. We could get a move to 72.5. It's not 100%, and we could scoop down there. It does say we got something at 70,005. We keep losing that 70,400. We're back to 70,250, and to me, that's always, whenever we're near that 250, it's some weakness there. We got to get this bounce. It is technically a tweezer bottom, and it could be a beautiful bounce. We got something like this yesterday just upside down, and we got a drawdown, right? $71,000 holding. All right. To be honest, all the linens don't matter that much right now. A message for Trump makes or breaks everything. 100%. He's going to tweet something, this thing will rip. And that's what you could see. The market is... And that's why even trading now, that's why it's been, for me, it's been like, why trade so hard if it's so sketch? You know? That's kind of what my mind keeps saying. It's a great time to lose tons of money. I bet a lot of people are losing tons of money in this market. I've been very, 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 I've been holding back a lot and just kind of sitting. I'm leaning that this is a double top that's going to dump. Like, you know, I'm more like hopium that we could bounce here. I'm not long on that bounce. You could open up a short, a tweet could come and you could get buried, you know? So I'm just trading what I know. Just trading what I know. Like right now, what I know is if the 1 hour stays above the 200 and consolidates, we have ourselves a possibility of a move later on today. This thing keeps dumping and losing the 200, and you know, and you have to remember too, we keep finding ourselves in ranges, big ranges, small ranges. Like I wouldn't be surprised, you know. And then this is a symmetrical that mainly breaks to the downside, and it also has like shoulder, head, kind of. It still gives me these the shoulder heebie-jeebies, right? And of course, we got to look at oil now just because every day, you know, and look, that descending triangle did end up playing out there that we looked at on the 1 minute time frame. It fell down, barely retested, continued lower. Like you can see, you had a flat bottom with a cruiserweight top, right? You know, nice, you know, but see, you had this slanted top and bang. 21 below the 200. Why didn't I? Oh, look at that. And it dropped. These things, oh my gosh. Nasty dump to the downside for Bitcoin. You know, what happened? All of a sudden, news came out. Someone said something. But again, show me the charts and I'll show you the news. Bit of a double top. Kind of cat ears. It was cat ears. I didn't really see it until then. Play it out just like cat ears does. Right to the target, too, at 71,000. I don't know if anyone took that short. Dang, I didn't, like, I saw it but didn't see it fast enough. I saw it on the chart, but not on my trading chart. Would have been a nice move. What, 71,000? It was basically a $300 move. To make a $300 move, I have to open up about a $71,000 position, right? So I just feel like I would have been very, you know, very high risk. But that's a beatdown now. Now you can see that the 1 hour is making the double top. Or the 15, sorry. And drop to the 200 moving average. Yeah, so what could have been a nice bullish day really kind of starting to kind of formulate into a mess. And let's take a look, though. Let's take a look at what could still be. You know, that's not what we're into. So, yeah, let's get the instrumental version if you're going to talk like that nonsense. So this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a symmetrical triangle beginning to form for Bitcoin. And these mainly do dump. I got to be honest with everybody here. And there are 50-50 patterns yet again. And it would make sense with the war in the world and a tweet being able to move price action. And so, like, something comes out tomorrow, this will shoot up and rock the shorts. Something comes out tomorrow, and this will shoot down and rock the longs. You're at the mercy of the market. It's kind of up to you what you decide to do here. All right? And that's what it is. To me, it's not the best odds. Like, the odds are good. Like, these are good odds. Like, remember when we saw the 4 hour touching the 21 above the 200, and I said, let's go long here. Let's go long here. You know, when we called the reversal and we got the pump, when we called the bounce off the 200, you sell resistance. You know, you really got to get back above 74.8 there. You got to get on the 4-hour time frame. You got to close a candle above resistance. I don't see it now as you got rejected pretty strong. So yeah, I see us in some chop today again. Someone says we're bouncing on 70,600. He says, okay. Yeah. The short is so good, we should call it short. You're funny. Now the 4-hour will close at tweezer top, which is a bearish sign. I mean, you had 4 green candles in a row, 16 hours of pumpage. I mean, it was beautiful. We took advantage. Now you chill out. Like, see, whenever I hit hot, I go again, and then I just scalp a little bit at the top. Still could make a beautiful right shoulder. It's still, you know, it's so crazy. We're not out. It's not horrible. It's not horrible, but we're definitely we're getting into a what if situation. Remember, the Hail Mary, a kind of cool idea. So I don't want it. Yeah, but the cool idea there is we could bounce and make a beautiful flag on the 1 minute and the 1 hour. If we get that, that'll be the plan. All right. Looking to see if we can get the bounce off that 21-day moving average and propel us further, man. Tight again. See what the chat is saying here today. You guys are more interesting than the charts right now. Let me see what you people are saying. I want to hear your take on it. Are you short or long? Or nada? Are you short, long, or nada? You know what I mean? Remember that day I put yes or no, and you guys are like, we can't answer the question, Sam. Oh, I'm so happy we didn't have it. Somebody was like, it's not doing it on my end. That was so funny. Yeah, like, we're seeing that thing all day again. Are you short, long, or nada? Long all the time. You guys are funny. Yeah, Asian market. Yeah, we've been pumping at night. It's true, though. That's what I've been seeing a lot recently. Pump it at night, dump it in, you know. I like to wait for huge dumps and then go in a big long. 5 years of trading with my mistakes. Now finally making gains in the market. Taught me to have patience. This works for me. Top strategy now. Love it. I like that you just wait. Yeah, you wait for a massive dump. A long, short time. 72 drops to 68. We'll see. I'm long UNG, oil, and natural gas. Long in the morning. There are always gains somewhere. Interesting. 35% is short, 28% are long, 37% are doing nothing at all. BOOKMAP keeps on moving liquidity to the downside. Yeah, they got it. They're shifted it lower. I see that. Still got that red above us there at 72.5 though. Might get a nice bounce off the 1 hour 200 here, just like we did on the 4 hour last night. Candle closes in 45 minutes. How would you know? Go here to labels, move over to countdown to bar close, click on that. That's going to be a hidden menu inside of this right. You right click this. Again, right click, labels, countdown to bar close, and you want to see this number, 45.44. 45 minutes, 44 seconds until the candle closes. I don't know. That looks bearish to me, and we look at the daily now. Could be making a right shoulder for a nasty dump. Again, indecisive for me. I'm usually a lot more, amped up. I just my trader instinct is just telling me that it calm down. The right trade will come to me at the right time. No force in it. Yeah. Possible short if you can't get back above the V8. Yeah. Sam, when you heal, I'd go easy on your body and not. You're not 21 anymore. Thanks, man. Come on, John. How you going to talk like that? You're a young buck, and you're telling me that. I'm going to go hard, John, until the day I die, bro. I'm going to be outside your house ready to play pickleball, bro. 4-hour engulfing. Got a nice long on silver, said Tom Carpenter. Interesting. On silver, eh? Silver, you say? Yeah, Bitcoin getting a nice deep dump here. Back to the 200 moving average on the 1-hour time frame. Too much talking. We need more action. Where's my favorite track? I gotta find my favorite track. This is my favorite one. This is what I'm talking about. This track gets me going every time. I don't know what it is. It's like that. Dude, my pool, man, again. Down and out again. Crazy. Man, my pool, man. My baby. It worked fine for years. What is going on? Every time there seems to be something wrong with the pool. No idea what's going down. I got a schedule I got to delete right now because if I don't, it's going to run the pool when it shouldn't. Sorry about that. So we're getting a dump here to the 200 moving average, and it was that 1 minute descending triangle that set this thing off. And actually turned out being a dang good trade, right? If you look at it, it's a descending triangle back to the upside. There's the model right there, just upside down. All I had to do was execute my same strategy upside down, and I had myself some big money on the day there. I've been slow, man, the past few days. Hey, Sam, can you look at SPX, please? Think I could tag the 1 week 200 SMA this year? SPX. Thank you. Shout out to Modern Canadian. Wow, that's a nasty dump. I mean, yeah, you can see it's headed to the target at 70,400. Dang, I mean, that was a perfect trade. All I got to do is just flip this stuff upside down and I'll see it so clearly. It doesn't look as perfect for me this way, but when I flip it upside down, it's the I mean, that was the model. All I had to do was trade my model, hit the 21, put the stop above, Stay on the 200, trade the model, get in, get out, call it a day. I mean, that's it. Look at that beautiful move. Insane. Did anyone trade this the right way? Did anyone learn from me and trade it the right way at least? Tell me that you did. That's sick. Like, that's awesome. Again, like, you went hard or you lose tons of money. There's no reason. Damn, now we're losing the 1 hour 200 moving average. This is becoming a nasty dump. Yeah. It's like they're like, oh, we ain't done yet. We got more juice, man. Yeah, you rocketed the 200 moving average on the 5, and now you play it just like we play the bullish move now. If you missed it, you say, well, if there's more coming, we're going to retest the 21 before we continue to pump. You see? And we might have ourselves another short later on today. So Bitcoin, if it's starting to drop on the bigger time frames, we could have ourselves, that's a 3-to-1 right there too, right? And I could do the same thing I do to the longs, to the shorts, just project them before they happen. The take profit would be at 69,392. The stop would be somewhere below the 200 there at 71,100, right? Not saying I'm taking the trade just now, but it's definitely something I would take a look at. A little bit below a 3-to-1 now. I don't know why it says it's not. Where did I go? 6.9, yeah. Interesting. Inverted head and shoulder on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Anyway, let's take a I'm going to go to a different chart here. I mean, I see a head and shoulder forming on the daily, right? I mean, shoulder, head, right shoulder. You're saying you see an inverted head and shoulder on the 1 hour and the 4 hour? Kind of, but like, you got to hold the 200 moving average. You got to bounce here. You really do on this 1 hour time frame. If you're bullish, the bulls got to maintain support on the 200. We're like right at it right now. We're battling it fiercely. Fiercely. We're also battling the 15-minute 200, which is uncanny. But 2 time frames exactly on the 200 moving average. Could present a bit of a bounce here, right? So if you're a bull, you're really looking for this to dig in here. You're looking for this to be the trend line and for this to open up and still break out. And you're looking for this to be the measured move. So this is your scenario if we get a bullish move. It all depends on this 15-minute 200 and the 1 hour 200. You can't start closing candles below it, losing trends, and dumping. 70,008 really has to hold this 70,700 area. So I still think there's a major nasty bear flag since the major drop to 60K. We going lower. Close oil at the top, buddy. DXY over bot. Interesting. I mean, you'd think the NASDAQ would get a pump then, but no. They dump in the NASDAQ too as well as it's losing the 200 moving average, right? So same thing on the NASDAQ and Bitcoin. Bitcoin getting a little ahead of the NASDAQ with the bounce first. Possible move on the 15-minute time frame. We saw this yesterday, remember? Let's take a look. So many ways to look at it lately. It's like the price action has been so interesting. So a bounce off that 200 moving average there, right? That's where you really got to get a move. That's something that entices me a little more than the short, to be honest. That's a risk-reward ratio that makes sense, right? You got to front-run this candle, which is so sketchy and high risk, though. I'd like to get a close first. We may just get a rip and you may not get to it. Important that you hold this 200. Again, you don't even need to be a hero and make this trade. You can wait it out. Give it 2 to 3 hours and see if it makes a flag. If it makes the flag and the 21 still kick in and you're above the 200, then we can execute that trade. A lot of people just don't have the patience to wait for the right trade at the right time. They have to have it all the time. And the FOMO of missing on a pump is like, oh my God, but it's good, you know. Like this was at 75. It did go up $500 already. It's a pretty good move for Bitcoin if you were trading high X left. But think about it. No matter what, your position size has to be the size of Bitcoin to get the move. So just to make $400 on a $400 Bitcoin move, you need to have, let's just say $7,000 at 10x leverage to have a $70,000 position. I don't think people realize how risky you have to be just to make $500 to $1,000. And a lot of people that are good at this make it look a lot simpler than it is. It's very difficult. I'm telling you right now, you should demo trade it for a while first. Like, really get into it before you decide, you know, demo trade before you decide to put like hard-earned funds. You want to know what you're doing every day. You want to practice this. I put a lot of thought into all my entries because every wrong entry can, you know, hurts, man. You don't want it to hurt. A bounce off that 200 moving average back up to 71,008 would be preferable. So far, it looks like we're getting some type of move here. One hour is holding that 200 now as it wicked back into position. 30-minute also looking like an inverted head and shoulder. Could be there, right? I see what you're saying. If you actually look at the 30-minute, you're kind of still inside the ascending triangle. Like nothing has really changed. You could put a stop below the 200 and go for it, right? 30-minute still looks pretty bullish. On my side, you know. Again, we got to hold this 15. 15-minute is the key right now to the day because in the next 2 hours, you're going to see what happened here. Do we lose this and start to drop? Do we regain it and gain control for the bulls? So this time frame really reveals a lot of information that which is, sometimes it's the 1 hour, sometimes it's the 5 minute. Every day it kind of flips, and sometimes, I build a draining amount that runs automatically. So I keep draining even when I'm leaving, 100%. After it traps trend line, it's going to roll over. Tweezer bottom of the 1 hour as well, Sammy. I know. Similar thing kind of going on there. No, we didn't get the tweezer bottom on the 1 hour, no. That's untrue. Only right now on the 15. The pump would be pretty small back to 71,768, but it would give you a little move. But nothing short till we pass the 200 on the 1 minute. Yeah. NASDAQ bouncing back too as well, attempting to get back above the 200. Might have been a stop hunt. They went to wreck all the shorts before they pumped these bags. Like, where are you going? Why are you packing your bags if you're not going nowhere? Why did you have to go after everybody? I don't know about dip and rip. Look at what time it is. Maybe one after lunch. Yeah, exactly 15 minutes. I misspoke. Draw a fib between the low and the high, Sammy. Yeah, it's pretty good. .5. I would use even that impulse. 786 Fibonacci retracement right off that two, See any divergences on the 1 minute? A little bit. That's very sharp down. That comes up. But even the 1 minute doesn't look strong. Remember, the 1 minute also has to kind of V-shape recovery and not make a bearish pattern. 1 minute is now below the 200. So is the 5. We've been in limbo now at about 70,800 for a few minutes now. Just kind of Bitcoin looking for direction after it bounced pretty strong back to the upside. NASDAQ battling the 200 on the 15-minute time frame as well. Almost the same story, just a little bit lower than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's in a slightly better position than the NQ, the E-mini futures. Let me show you what I mean here. See, right here, we're trying to get back above the 200. And if you look at the NQ, see a bit of an inverted head and shoulder there. You can see this flag. It's attempting to get back above that 200 moving average and break out. Looking for the NASDAQ to kind of go on a bit of a mini run here. But it's taking its sweet time. Right? Bitcoin holding, this could close. When this closes 1 minute and 31 seconds, that's when I could enter the trade on confirmation of the candle close. How do you do that? Well, when the candle closes 1 minute. You got to set your trade. It's unrealistic. I'll get all the way to 76,000. I think that's a bit much. Even just there, 72,700 would be nice. So you go, okay, I'll take profit at 72,700. And I'll put my beautiful stop loss at 70,560, right? That plays out. We go for it. We did this yesterday in the 4 hour. It did. I don't like the smaller time frames. I'm seeing, I still have conflicting, nice bounce on the 200 for the tech, for the NASDAQ, getting back above the 200 on the 15-minute time frame. Signs of hope for the bulls here for the NASDAQ, that this may get tight and break out. It looks like a bull pennant to me. I think this thing should break out. Unless they stop, hunt, and rip it, I feel like it's going to go to the upside over time. I like that consolidation. Bitcoin giving a lot of it back on that short, right? See? 15-minute. Oh, yeah, back to our confirmation. Where was I? You forget what you're doing. Oh, my God, 8 seconds. So technically, we could front run that this is going to close, right? And we could long this. Should get you a pump back to the upside with confirmation on the 200. Should is a great word, though, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen for sure. Lately, my long trades on the live stream just seem to get rocked. My streams at night, like someone said, during Asian markets seem to pump. So I don't like this. See, I don't, even though I got to do the trade, I don't love the trade, man. It's like I'm just taking confirmation of a candle close. Like it's a very there's like nothing to that. Like that's it. I don't like the 5. I don't like the 1. Like they're gonna have to respond in an interesting way. I do like that we stayed above the 200. We'll see where this trade goes, right? I did what I was supposed to do based off of candle bodies. So we'll see. I don't want to stare at it. Let's see what's happening around the horn today. 11:30. All right. Is the level. It's also all around with the fibs and all of it. Yeah. So let's see here. 36% is short, 28% are long, 36% say nothing for 400 votes. Let's get the votes up to the watchers, folks. We got down there 1,200 people here on the beautiful live. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your amazing time with me. I appreciate that. Wow, SIREN comes back and goes up 132%. Insane. Meme core. Bit Tensor continues to pump since we put it out, up another 18%. I like Fetch is doing damage. Seems to be people are kind of getting back into altcoins, buying the bottoms here. Altcoins have seemed to bounce a little bit. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. In 7 days again, Dexy, remember, still holding 7. We're going to look at KITE right now in SIREN just because they look so interesting. Wow, the trade's getting a bit of a bounce so far. Let's see if I can win that puppy. Yeah, so SIREN just came back from... So look at the price action, though. It's crazy. It goes flat, 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 and then just... Definitely looks like manipulation to me. Like someone is just, I don't know, doing something with it. You know, what you could do is say, hey, well, it gets above the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. I'm in, and that was an interest, and they did it right there, front run that candle, just like I did. It closes above the 200. You get in with a stop below, and then see if it can rip. Crazy what SIREN did. I've left it alone because it's been so volatile, right? That's interesting, though. That tells me that there's a bull, possible measured move here. I wouldn't touch it, but if you're in it, 328 looks like a great place to take some profit if it gets there again. But look at that. I mean, that's nuts. It did a Bart Simpson flat line for days, went back up. Like, Bitcoin struggling. I see it at 70,950. Now starting to tweeze their top with the wick to the upside, just not looking strong. Come on, turn that into a wick and show me some love. For crying out loud. My goodness. Let's take a look at KITE. Is there something to be had with KITE today? This has been a hot project. It's been interesting. It is tight. Maybe Bitcoin takes it down if we have a massive Bitcoin dump, but it has been doing its own thing. And after the run up it went on, you'd think it would dump pretty hard. And it dumped hard, but you can see in the last 4 days, it's been on a beautiful uptrend. And it's oversold the stochastic RSI. The 1 hour time frame looks very nice. It's very tight, touching the 21 above the 200. I would keep this on the radar. Very high risk. You know what I mean? I can see stop hunts I can see all sorts of stuff. But can you? Yeah, 2 to 1 only. I guess you can get a 3 to 1 if you go below that. But I'd like to always be below that key level. But if anything pops, and I'm very cautious to post an altcoin. So if I post an altcoin, it means I think it's like a really likely, not just likely. But again, who knows? I might buy this. I don't have any right now. But I could see myself possibly jumping on into KITE. I missed it the last time. I scalped it once. It looks like it might be worth a pump, man. KITE AI, keep it on the radar. I like what I'm seeing there. 960, Bitcoin struggling. Doesn't seem like it wants to hold this level nicely. Make a wick, get back some light. Let's pump off the confirmation candle, baby. Come on. You can do it. And I don't even want to watch it. Come back an hour later, see what happens. You have any insight on the H-bar chart? I'm looking to long sweet and soul after we retrace. Right? Interesting. Ample fourth up 24%. Decargo. Solar index art. I mean, there's some movement there. Man, Bitcoin, man. Just not feeling that, like, tight price action. Katana bit layer, BitLight Labs. And, you know, more work on the Bitcoin layer, which has been interesting. Bedrock, Fabric, it keeps coming up too. BitTensor, Siren, but kind of the one that really people keep over trading and running into all day long. You know, and it's like there's one of a few coins too. So I don't want people to get, you know, people FOMO for this stuff and then they lose a lot of money. They leverage a bunch of money on one, you know, they don't know, they see it and it gets them going and then they get rocked. So just be careful. Get through this time with capital so when the market's not in the worst shape, you're ready, you know? Especially if you're a beginner or someone who just jumped on in. A lot of beginners are losing money. I said to people yesterday, if you're just making a little bit of money and not losing capital, you're doing better than 95% of the rest of the market. People are getting completely beat up all the time lately. Like, look at all those people. People ran into gold, oil, Bitcoin. They basically whipped everyone, right? Not me, not us in my trading group. I took small gains out of gold and oil and wasn't greedy. And because of that, I didn't feel the need to like go crazy. You know, I stayed calm. I didn't bug out. I was like, all right. Just figured if it wicks, then so be it. Dang, man, come on, Bitcoin. You basically have to trade. You have to trade the small time frames with high leverage and extreme risk with a cross account, so you can't get liquidated. Like you put 100 grand in here, and then you just trade everything, and then never, you know, use no stop losses. Like, I'm not into that, but that's a way to make money, right? Because you have no liquidations, you're going all over the place. But it's just not. I have like a way of trading. I'm old school, man. I don't break my rules. It's hard to be boring sometimes too. You know, you want to be more excited, you want to jump on in, but I'm also not going to be stupid. So, looks like a head and shoulder now, like wants to roll over. I look at it. It just looks like we're waiting. You know, people are doing whatever they want. It did have a descending triangle that broke to the downside. It did come to retest the support or resistance level right there. And it did go lower. I mean, I would have already sold that thing if I was in the short. I don't see why I would wait for it to bounce back and dump again. I mean, I keep seeing this old story over and over again. It's like that same old story. I did this yesterday. I waited. Eventually, I shorted like the 5 or the 15 because I was like, all right, you're going to get me to short now. There's a chance I still win this trade on the 15. We'll see. The 200 is strong bacon, you know. Just got to have patience and just sit tight. Look at that. As I said that, a possible cup and handle. A possible higher low. We're digging in. Up to the 200. So the key is to set your trade and forget it, man. Let it go. Put it on and come back when it's ready, you know. So leave it, you know. Leave it. Open it and leave it, man. Don't let the emotions get you in and out. Have your idea, stick to the idea. 70,800 is a very interesting area. The 800s are strong, right? Again, too, chop. I mean, look at the last 10 minutes of price action. You've been You went from 70,005 up to 71, all the way back to 70,750. I mean, you're just kind of doing this. And then before that, look, you were in chop from 22 all the way, yeah. Wait, why is it 22, 23? What time frame is that? Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, but you can see, I mean, that was chop for an hour straight, 2 hours straight. Yeah, baby, a little bit of a Sammy cup and handy on this bounce back to the upside. Let's see if we can get it. I'm trading the 15-minute time frame on the bounce off the 200. We've traded this a few times on the show, actually, in the last few months, actually, this exact type of trade. It played out a one big time once I went legendary on it, and it played out really nicely, so we'll see. We will see. It's not over till it's over, baby. KITE looks like it could break out above the 200, getting tight with the moving averages. Just if anything could rip, KITE looks interesting to me. There's no, like, you know, I don't have any. I'm not paid to say that. I'm just looking at the TA. Just looking at the technical analysis. So you look at the bigger picture and you're like, all right, bounce, baby, bounce. Show us that you want it. And there's still a chance we flatten these shorts here. It's not over yet, folks. It's just really not. NASDAQ not looking good again. Not, you know, up and down, though, with tight price action. But for whatever reason, like, you know, they seem to be somewhat correlated. Yeah, they're correlated. Every time Bitcoin gets a little red, the NASDAQ gets red again. You look at that crude oil. Oil in like a bit of an Adam and Eve double bottom of the 15. So oil doing what we don't want to happen is rip above the 200 and get a pump. So dang, man, it looks like almost like today is oil's day and not Bitcoin's day. They had a beautiful pennant. It looked beautiful. We traded, remember, a huge pump. I was up 380. I got out after that insane, crazy move that got me like, what? And then dumped. I'm happy I wasn't in it. Did a bearish retest, and now it's kind of like hanging out outside the pattern. Seems like it's trying to make some type of relief rally here. So what's going to happen is oil is going to rip above the 200 and go on a pump. And then they're going to dump the NASDAQ and dump Bitcoin. Again, you can kind of see it about to happen now. So I can see what's going to happen, but I can't stop it. I keep getting chewed up on my scalps, man. Yeah, this is crazy. We're like right here. I mean, the move is going to happen right now or not. Like, time stands still at 70,800, really. Like, dang, man. It's like, it feels like people took an early lunch already. Stop the price action. Yeah. Keep the losses small is what I say, man. I just keep repeating that to myself, and I know I'll be fine. I didn't lose yet either, so I don't even know why I'm stressed, you know. Damn, you think I was worth $100 the way I act like 100 when I'm down $100. I don't like losing, man. It's not about money. Don't like losing. And I don't like being in heavy risk where I have to stress it. I want the trades to make sense. You know? NASDAQ getting back inside the pattern. Okay? Want to see NQ stay in here, get tight, get the rip. It deserves a pump. Look at it. It's been doing so well with the consolidation after that massive ripper. Come on, Nasty Nas. Do the thing, man. Pay the trader, baby. Let's go. Oil, man. Can't you just dump off and get rejected by the two? See, the way this is 21, I don't... It'd be great if this is a resistance and we dump. You really want to see oil just go, oh, boom, right? So the 50-minute candle just closed, and it closed pretty bearish. You know, that's not what we were looking for, a continuation green candle, not a red one. It did get some wickage. You would want to start with red. That means you can come back up with a wick. Let's see how we do. Throw this into a wick and see if we can flip green. Otherwise, this thing just is going to melt down. Again, here we are at 70,800, as I've stated. It just seems to be the magnetic point here for Bitcoin. Brent looks different. Interesting. Not liking price action here. I'm seeing how many days I can lose straight here on the trades. Like, this is nuts to me. Brent looks different. Nas already, yeah. So tight. Long oil, short Bitcoin. Wait till the weekend's over. That's how I feel. That's what I've been doing on Fridays, not on Wednesdays though. And again, Wednesday, one of my favorite days to trade, just like really turning out to be a dump again from the top here to the downside. It was a short trade that really paid the traders again. See, was it back to the 21? Yeah, I tell you how, the 1 hour is high, back to the 21-day moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Something I didn't really pay attention to there. But I was looking for us to go sideways. I'm still looking for us to hold this 200. It's not over yet. We still haven't confirmed the bearishness just yet. It's about to get bad now here, though, if we get closer to this 200. The daily you're talking to us, are we listening? Someone says, I think a bounce is coming, Sam. I don't know what's going to happen, brother. I wish I knew. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. Right? I know not a clue. If you want to trade where I'm trading, you can hit the link and trade at Weeks, MaxC, or at BTCC. BTCC has Tech 100 and all that other cool stuff. Weeks has, just the ability to move your stop loss quick and easy, good price action, fast customer service, a really good user interface, and yeah, I like it. Let's see here. If the energy's right. Could the energy get right here? Can we get the move? It's been all short season since the beginning of the stream today. A big pump throughout the morning. And right at about, 10 o'clock, we started to dump. Make a bit of a double top there and make a move further to the downside. Now we're seeing if we can get this reversal long off the bounce off the 200 of the 15-minute time frame and the 1 hour holding the 200. I've seen many a bounce here, but we're getting very tight, and it's looking iffy. It's also a trend line, as you can see. Looks sketchy. If the energy's right. And I've been sitting waiting, and we've been basically at 70,800 now for almost an hour. The trade just seems to can't really get away from that area. I don't know what's going on. Seems to be stuck at 70,008. If you were in a short or a long right now, unless you were trading the 2-second chart, there's been no price action movement. That would be the bounce there. Come on, flip green and give us the move. Flip my trade green. Let's get a gain. Let's get some price action going here. Taking all day to see some action. Let's go. Can we blow the candle? Can we make it happen? What can we do? Anything and anything. Okay. 70,847. We basically within 40 to 50 bucks of 70,008. Come on, flip green. You're fighting so hard, bulls. You guys are fighting so hard to flip this candle green. There you go. I knew you could do it. I've been behind you guys all along. I've always had faith in you guys. You could do this. I know you can. This ain't your first rodeo. Shout out to the fan funding. Hey, Sam, could you look at SPX, please? Think we can get 1 week? And that's the S&P 500, isn't it? I just look at ES1, man, if that's all right, which is E-mini futures. If you're okay with that, but that's kind of how I does it. I mean, it's looking just like the NASDAQ. You know, it's basically saying, hey, setting up for some type of news here, some type of bullish news for the markets. I'm expecting some tight price action and a breakout. But you never know. But I'm expecting a breakout here. Come on. Okay, 70 back to 70,009. Only down 36.68. Let's see. Come on, baby. Show us what you got, Bitcoin. Break out this falling wedge to the upside. Let's get a pump all the way back to the top of the channel. Put me in the money. Put me in the money. And we sit and wait again. The last half an hour of the show, we sat here staring at the same trade. And I can't, I apologize, but I can't force the market to move. Everyone's in waiting. Everyone's kind of sitting. It's one of those times. So we were one scalp win this morning, one scalp lost. Basically, the 1 minute trade hit, the 5 minute scalp loss. So I like this now. At least we're away from 70,008 for a bit. You know, we can get some type of beginning of a move here. Iran tightens control over the Strait of Hormuz shipping, requiring IRCG approval and detailed vessel data, imposing fees on tankers and turning away non-compliant ships as traffic declines and tensions persist. Justin Peter Schiff warns of full-blown financial crisis as import and export prices surge. Global economist Peter Schiff is sounding the alarm after February import prices spiked 1.3% and export prices surged 1.5%. Annualizing to inflation rates of 16.8 to 19% before accounting for oil's 50% rise since the Iran war began. Schiff is calling for several hundred basis points of immediate Fed rate hike to prevent an inflation spiral, a move markets would almost certainly interpret as catastrophic for equities and risk assets. Well, of course, he wants people to flock back into gold, right? I mean, I can't say that, though he usually is somewhat partial, but he said he also told you to get into gold at $550, 5,000. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sell all your Bitcoin for gold at the high. Yeah. He did, though. He really did that. He said it to me when we had our debate together. Like, so seeing if we can squeak by along here, it's getting very, very close. Let's get back into the chat and see what the chat is saying. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. All right. Someone pump our bags, man. We're cooked for such a long time. Thank you, kind sir. Full of appreciation and gratitude. Love your channel, the vibes, and the enormous IQ. People, keep it up, brother. God bless you. Thank you. Yeah, it's the people here that have the enormous IQ, not me, for sure, right? Add to the liquidity. Trump doesn't care about crypto. Turn the volume down. Thank you. You'll be okay, though. Juiced up, guys. See the 4-hour stochastics RSI. Yeah, it looks whack, right? It looks like it wants to just take us down. And it's also like, look, it's a rising wedge in the 4-hour time frame, right? That's what this is the bearish scenario that we're looking at. If we can't bounce here on the 15, we may have to flip short there on that 4-hour. I'm waiting for confirmation here through the trade in a way, right? This trade plays out like that's not happening. This trade doesn't. And then we have to start looking like, okay, We short the tweezer top. I mean, I guess you could also front run the tweezer top. I don't know why people do short and long so much, because you can never really tell what they're going to do. But you can front run both these ideas and then, take profits on one pump, move the stop loss. Playing off the middle of the channel I'm on. Yeah, Sam, you got any book recommendations? Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I love it. It's my go-to. I tell all my students to read it, and I really think it'll help you change the way you think about your trading. It'll keep you from beating yourself up for your losses and make you realize you're just a probability guy that just needs to work on your entries and your probabilities. That's all. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying people. Look, back to 70,800. We've been here now for an hour and a half. Okay. I also add to the watermark of the chart in exchange, DEX creator, and so on. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Who could have crossed 75K by now? Yeah. Exactly. Human needs, that's exactly what I'm saying, man. It all, what happens is it's like your mind starts just getting it's interesting. That's why I can see things a lot of times before other people. It's confusing to the beginner for sure. I don't expect you to, get it immediately. If you did, then, what would be, Yeah, let's just take a look. Any questions you want answered today? Anyone that wants to just ask a certain question or go over something? Feels good to be short and long at the same time. Interesting. It's a Dracula pattern. Sir, what leverage do you use? Right now, it is 33x. Yeah. Markets are waiting for boots on the ground in Iran. Seems to be that what I'm seeing, yeah. When Lambo, we already did that. We got the Lambo. We did that. We've done that. Check that off the list. We Lamboed, We got the Lambo. All right, there it is right there. It's parked nice and safe. Jump on in today, If you come visit me, I'll take you for a spin. It does shine. I keep it clean. It also is just a car. It's a piece of metal. And, my dedication is to God and not to a piece of metal. So, yeah. It's a fun little thing to have in this materialistic world, but at the end of the day, we're leaving this world, right, and going to another realm. So, I don't know, man. It's okay. I get it. The only reason, to me, it's mathematical. Fiat currency goes down a lot. A Lamborghini should keep its value in the next 3 to 4 years. I could resell it and get something fun and just kind of it'll always be my fun car bank. You know what I mean? That's all that is for me. And give me some enjoyment that I sit in front of the charts every single day for thousands of days, right? So, yeah. White House is live in 1 hour. Let's see what they talk about regarding the war. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, the 1 minute gave a beautiful short this morning that I definitely missed. Right there. That was my entry at 71,350. Hey, let's flip it upside down again. See if I can see it again the right way, right? I mean, I see it does look like it may continue to dump. It's definitely symmetrical, but that is the model. You're above the 200, touching the 21, and it looks like you're going to continue to dump. You got to use the short tool, right? Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't go right. So funny. It can be a 3-1, but you got to be pretty close to the target, right? You got to be right there. It technically is a symmetrical. It could go either way, but it's above the 200 on the 21, so it should break out more likely than not. I still can't believe we're at 70,830 now. This is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 50-minute straight sideways price action at the same price. How do you know when it was time to count on yourself? I've been in this journey for 5 years, and I'm really understanding what I'm seeing. It's just my patience and greed, over leverage chasing. Yeah. A 94 Bronco. That's so cool, man. Oh, that Lambo is awesome to go ride it around. And congrats, Sammy. Thank you, man. It is fun. It definitely helps the day go by a little better, right? If you're short, then you're going back to 69,784. And your stop loss is at 71,130 for me. So I'll get hit off for like 2.8, you know. And we need red candles now. I forget you need a red candle now. And then you're looking rejection by the 200 moving average, right? This is so crazy. 70,800. Yes, again. That's even more like a descending triangle, the way it's starting to feel for me. I know I have gray hairs now. Like I was looking in the mirror, I'm like, I got the gray hairs because the stream is, I'm under pressure on the stream every day now. It's constant. It never ends. Okay, so the 4-hour candle just closed red. It just closed red at 12 o'clock, right? So another reason certain times to make certain trades because that's when the 4-hour candle closes. Like, we have to get a bounce here on this 15. If the 15-minute, I could even see them do something shady, though. I could see them wick it, bring it back in, and rip it. And you get stopped hunted, right? We got to get a bounce here. This is kind of do or die right now on the 15. It's a little more important because this is where the 4-hour candle just closed. So there's a lot more pressure on this right here. Someone said better gray than no hair. Interesting. When are you coming to Saudi to compare to Dubai? I would love to come. If you live there, anyone lives in Saudi and you invite me, I will come visit, man. For sure. Obviously when the rockets stop, launching at me, but, I'll come visit. I'm not afraid of this war like most people are. I mean, I probably should be, but, I'm thinking it might be a good time to buy Dubai real estate. Like 10 years from now, you look back and be like, man, that war created such a good opportunity for me. And I'm not trying to, I don't want the war. I'm not trying to say this is great. I'm just looking at, is there any way to, I already liked their real estate before. Nothing's really changed about the beautiful city. I remember when I was there, though, we had already Iran tensions. And I was there last April, and I looked across the river, and I saw Iran, I didn't see it, but I looked at the map, and I was like, Iran's right across the river. And I said, this is crazy, I said, I don't know. I was like, it's a little close. And I remember being like, all right, a couple more days, and let's get out of here in case Iran does anything silly, and I didn't say it to anybody. I think I mentioned it to my wife, but I didn't say it to my manager and people I was on the trip with. But in the back of my mind, I was always like, damn, it's a little sketchy. And maybe I didn't know any better, but as an American, I was like, man, we're pretty close to Iran. It's right there. So look, oil did break above the 200 moving average on the 15. It got the move. So it's starting to, NASDAQ is struggling to hold the 200 now, which means that NASDAQ may take the beat down. Bitcoin attempting to get this bounce, which is very, and here we are at 70,840 yet again. You don't even need to be there to get a golden visa and pay 0 crypto taxes. So crazy, right? Love the fear of God is what you need. Amen, yeah. In America, even if you get the golden visa, you still got to pay. An American has to pay taxes no matter where they go in the world. Doesn't matter. In the UK, wherever you guys, when you leave, you can pay whatever you want. You could be exempt. You're lucky. You could move to Dubai and pay no taxes. That'd be amazing for me, but this is not the case, So tight on the 1 minute, this is crazy. My good friend lives in Iran. I hear all kinds of versions of the war, Sam. Maybe we should be a little mindful of what and who to believe. Yeah, what does he say? I don't know who to believe. I'm saying, I thought I said exactly what you do. I should be super, I don't know who to believe. Yeah. I mean, the second that happens, you're going to get a massive dump for Bitcoin. Okay, here we go, man. I got the news for you right now. It just came in hot on Google. Iran rejected a U.S. proposed 15-point peace plan to end the war, calling it excessive and disconnected from reality, according to the Iranian state media. A senior Iranian political security official stated the Iran war will end the war only on its own terms and timeline, not dictated by the U.S. President Donald Trump. Iran's 5 conditions: complete halt to aggression and assassinations by the enemy, concrete mechanisms to prevent the war from being reimposed, guaranteed payment of war damages and reparations, an end to hostilities across all fronts involving regional and resistance groups, and recognition of Iran's sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz as a precondition for compliance. Despite the U.S. sending the proposal via Intermediate Pakistan and deploying approximately 2,000 troops from the 82 Airborne Division to the Middle East, Iran insists the U.S. is negotiating with itself and continues military operations across the region. Iran rejects the 15-point peace plan. All right. I believe that is like right now, but let's take a look at Google. And Google just seems to have some. It's better than Brave, man. I'm sorry, Brave. I love you guys, but whatever searches you're doing don't seem to do as well. Iran rejects peace plan 9 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. Iran rejects the peace plan, which means my long may not be playing out too well here for Bitcoin. And see, the second the news comes, it can switch everything on you in a second. It's starting to look more like a descending triangle. 15-minute looks bearish. You know, it's almost like the 15-minute can do what just happened on the 1 minute. The 1 minute just tight. We've been sideways for hours now. It felt like 70,008 has held for just forever. South bearish, but who knows? Old news, it was already on the Twitter hours ago. I'm not paying taxes when I start living in Mexico. I'm not coming back. All something massive is coming. U.S. people are not really the war. And be careful, man. Say whatever you want. But just keep it to yourself, man. You don't got to tell anybody. All right. One thing I know is beef is half of wing problems. Check your next stream. Taxation is theft. I don't want to fund these people anymore. Yeah. The 5 minute looks bearish. Yeah. There's the pump. This is crazy. This is lunatic. Trading is literally like whipping yourself with a whip lately. Like it's felt sadistic. I felt like I'm torturing myself. You know what I mean? Look at this. I mean, nothing. Oh my gosh, we're at 70,871 again. Yeah. Getting a pump ski. Let's take a look back at BOOKMAP. What is BOOKMAP saying? That red above us really kind of disappeared. Now the deepest red is right there at about 69.8 and 72,000. I feel like we've touched 69.8 a couple times almost. All right, no, not yet. Here we are at 70,009, finally getting what could be a bullish engulfing candle. So maybe Bitcoin pumps now off the bearish news. This is insane, right? It pumps off Iran news, like, you know. They did earlier, and then they dumped it. Funny, I've said to myself, why do I keep torturing myself? Market maker trying to counter the news. I mean, technically, that's now breaking the trend line. This trade might flip green on us. Is the NASDAQ following suit, though? Not so much the NASDAQ. A little bit. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of wickage, but it's not as great. Stronger move for Bitcoin at the present moment. I mean, there's the pump I've been waiting for the entire stream. Back off that 200 to the 15. Look at the patience we had to exert here. Down $200 a couple times. This trading has been, we've had to sit here and stay patient. You know, there's no other way. You just got to sit and maintain no matter what. That's it. I lost my cuzzy Secret Service. You might know. Hey. They can't say any of that now. I believe the wall was built to keep people in. Call me crazy. Hey. You might be right, man. I mean, that's what they were doing, right? With those FEMA camps, right? You saw that stuff, man. Back in the day online, it was crazy. And all the coffins and stuff. Like, what was that? Remember all the coffins on those trains? I know you guys used to see those videos back on YouTube back in the day. I agree 100% with you, Sam. Tough to know what's really happening. As you say, show me the chat and I'll show you the news over here. It looks like indeed we are waiting for news of some sort. Yeah, so there's our rant for Strait of Hormuz there. Peter Schiff bugging. Bitmine launches a new Ethereum staking solution. Bitmine Emergence Technology, BMNR, has launched what it claims is the world's largest Ethereum staking service. It's run by investor Tom Lee, has launched its new Made in America Validator Network, a proprietary institutional-grade ETH staking platform. Mavan represents a critical step in our vision to build one of the leading staking and on-chain infrastructure platforms globally, who is chairman of Bitmine in a news release. The chairman of Bitmine. Staking cryptocurrencies in Ethereum is a way to earn rewards on digital assets by locking them up so they can be used to validate a blockchain network and verify transactions on them. It's often likened to earning interest on high-yield staking accounts, so this is a big deal. And Bitmine said it currently has 6.8 billion US of Ethereum staked, more than any other entity in the world. Bitcoin consolidation points to a potential market bottom as selling pressure wanes. This is somebody's opinion, though, that just got, whipped up into an article. So prolonged consolidation could signal a shift in market structure, with easing selling pressure pointing to a potential bottom. I'm just telling you, I think it's 90% chance we bottomed based on the fact that the fear and greed hit 5 and the stochastics on the 2-week chart were low. Every time I've seen those coinciding indicators, we have bottomed for Bitcoin. So I've used them to buy Bitcoin. I did buy a bunch of Bitcoin. I already kind of staked my claim there. Wow, the 4-hour may be getting the bounce here as we expected off the bottom of the trend line. We still may get a monster long to the upside. The 1-hour still may prevail off this 200. We may get this, and this thing could absolutely shoot to the upside. If the 21 stays above the 200, I'm going to take the long. And I'm already in this long too, so I'll keep you posted. I'd love it if it flipped green before the end of the stream. 70,860 again. Come on, Bitcoin. Get away from 70,800. This is crazy. It's the longest I've seen the same number for the longest period of time. You can't trade. It's like, wow. You can't do a dang thing, right? Someone said the call for KITE is absolutely ripping. Let's just see. Wow, KITE did a nice number there from 24 all the way back up to 24.8. Almost a whole pivot, a whole point there. Nice little pump for, could be just someone wailing in there, pumping up the price. We'll see what happens. But it is breaking the trend line and starting a bit of a move there for KITE. You'd expect it to at least run up to resistance at 25. If it gets above 25, 28.55 is the target. We will see a rally on the weekly on the 92, but not after the price takes out 60K again. There's a lot of liquidity. Both sides, though, in my humble opinion. And ARK Invest bought $16 million worth of Circle stock as it plunged. So, asset manager ARK Invest, led by investor Kathy Wood, purchased $16 million worth of Circle stock as it plunged 20%. Why not, right? Buy the dip. So, and Solana unveils an enterprise developer platform. Pretty interesting. According to the release, several major finance institutions are exploring integrations. MasterCard, evaluating stablecoin settlement. Western Union is testing cross-border payment applications. And WordPay of WorldCoin, WLD, is also working with a platform to expand merchant access to digital asset infrastructure. Did we call the bounce? Did we call the daily bottom yet again today? Fighting the bears. I don't know. It still looks pretty negative. It still looks pretty bearish on the 5-minute time frame. 5 minutes going to have to do something different. Let me show you what I see here. I mean, that's a bear flag, folks. Like, that's about to dump in our face, no? I guess maybe not. Maybe it makes a higher low and it rips. That looks pretty bearish. I'll stick to my bigger time frame for now, but it doesn't look good. And now we're back to, 70,800 again. Wow, man. 5 minute maybe telling us, hey. I mean, that's the 21. I mean, we flip it upside down. It's like textbook long. It's hard to call the bottom. It's hard to call the top. You see this? I mean, this is not easy stuff, folks. You're seeing this in real time. Like, this is not easy. Anyone who tells you it easy makes it look easy is so full of is so full of it. You know what I mean? And if you start like doing this without focus and discipline, you can lose so much money so fast. I'm telling you. It's like, it's unfair how bad it can go. I mean, that 5 minute has to dig back above that 200. We got to make this kind of an Adam and Eve. We got, shoulder, head, right shoulder, something like. I'm staying long. I'm not going to flip flop. I'm going to stay long. Yeah, it's the easiest, hardest way to make money, or the hardest, easiest way to make money. Yeah. Yeah, they were stacked in storage yard. Yeah, they were. You seen that? Yeah, I seen it too. Yeah. 70,840, folks. I can't move the price action if I want to. I would like to get it to move here. We have been sideways now, folks, for a while, for about an hour. About 100 minutes. 75 minutes, it's 15 candles, 15 5-minute candles. That's 5 times 10 is 15, 5 times 5, 25. That's 75 minutes, man. 75 minutes. Nice. Yeah, just with the 21 crosses the 200, I'm bearish, man. Like that. So now I got big signals again. I got a bearish call on my scalp, but I have the 1 hour and the 15-minute attempting to hold the 200. I got to use the bigger time frames and put more faith on the bigger time frames. Look at that crazy wick off the 200 just now. They're really testing the 200 moving average. Like, they want to, and see how it always seems to be the 200? Like, why is the 200 fighting price action so hard? Why does it happen to be why? It's just like a magnet. Every day I'm at the 200, somewhere, some shape, somehow. It's crazy. We're going to dump. No, we're going to pump. No, we're going to dump. No, we're going to pump. I know. Sam on overtime, the GOAT. I'm just stuck in price action. It's pulling me in. Like, I'd like to back away from price action, but I'd like to see something first. I hate to end the show in limbo at 70,800, but it seems like that's going to be the case, right? Thank you for hitting that like button. Shout out to Dalton. That's very nice of you, bro. You don't have to do that, but you do. God bless you. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button, everybody, as we battle these charts every single day with real money. This is not a demo account. I got my butt on the line here. $77. And I got the bright lights in my eyes. I've been staring at the screen since 7 in the morning. My eyes start to get fried, man. We know you got it, big guy. You're funny, man. I love you, brother. There it is. Can we get this move? Shout out to everybody here on the live. And we say, are you short or long? For 718 votes, which was absolutely amazing. And we got more votes than likes, I think, which is funny, right? You get more, but hit that like button if you can. If you voted, you should like as well if you can. And we had 39% are short, 31% are long, and 30% are doing nothing. So the majority of the people are short today. Best believe the first thing I do is hit that like button when the stream starts. God bless Byron, man. You've been around a long time. God bless Byron, man. Everyone, give Byron a round of applause. He's been an OG for a long time. Today is his day, man. Thank you, Byron, man. We love you, brother. I see your name all the time, countlessly. I see it on YouTube. I see it in the chats. I see it in Discord. I see it on X.com. God bless you, brother. You were always holding me down. I really appreciate it. And there you go. A bit of, look, that could be an Adam and Eve double bottom. You see it? And now I'm really leaning towards the fact that this might just give us the sauce, baby. And now everything is going my way. Let's get this reversal back to the upside. Sammy may have made the trade of his life. And here we are back almost to break even again. Wow. I'd like to leave when the trade is green. When the trade is green, I will be allowed to leave the stream. But not until. Okay. But not until. Oh my gosh, we're at 70,870 again. Someone said 80K today. You're funny, man. Hey, I like at least that we look like we've double bottom now. 5-minute has a bit of an Adam and Eve. 1 hour showing strength. So I'm going to, if anyone's just jumping on in right now, I'm going to show you kind of my off-the-wall ideas here for Bitcoin that most people I don't think are like paying attention to. So the first idea is the fact that we're inside of a... we're in a very tight channel here that we've been assembling for a couple days now, right? And you could say, fine, you could even take away that bottom one and just bring it real tight. But here we are. And so like a big move is coming for Bitcoin, and it's coming soon. Either it's going to rip out of here very shortly, even today. And look, it has a leg, and that's a big leg. That does take it to 80,000. It's so funny. Someone said 80K today, right? It does have a shoulder head, kind of an inverted head and shoulder there, right? It seems like it had a shoulder head, shoulder, and it defied it when it ripped up again. It seems like it has support off the 200 moving average at 69K. And it seems like it's trying to make another support off this resistance at about 70,800, which is the area we've been just making out with for the last, we've been hanging out with for the last, hour and a half, right? So it brings me down to this idea, and you can also make this channel the tighter looking flag, right? But really doesn't matter because they both work, because the stop loss would not change. But the idea is you're in here, you got some support or resistance, bounce. So previous support right there where we bounced, and then you got above it. Resistance right here. There's a POC that you're now back above on the 1 hour. Right there, a point of control. You got a gap of the VRVP that takes you up. If I bring in more price action, we got a gap of the VRVP that takes you up, which is, it takes you back up to 74, 75K, right? So this is kind of what I've been watching, and I just wanted to see today during the stream if we were going to lose that key level. So far, we haven't. We're at 950 now for the first time. Could we flip the trade green, for crying out loud? Hey, we're back. There it is. That is. The trade is flipped green. I can leave the stream. Oh my gosh, we got the pump. Sorry. My wife's going to be, what are you screaming for? And now we got liquidity back building above us here for BOOKMAP. They got some red coming in at 72.6. So, Sam, win or lose, dump, having a lot of fun. Shout out from the welding. Shout out to the God bless you, bro. We love you, man. Trying to break 100 SMA on the 1 minute time frame. I mean, this is the move we were looking for. All right, you can see how long I waited for this call. And so if you took my call, you're in the money now. Thank goodness. We got some of that money back from earlier. And now the pump is real. That's a nice pump starting to form here for BTC. Okay. Sam, yeah, there you go. I was tired of that 70,800. Oh my gosh, man. And I had to sit here until I saw the pump, man. I just had to. We knew a pump was coming. Right? We knew a pump was coming. We weren't sure when or how, but we knew a pump was coming. You know what I mean? So, we definitely knew a pump was coming. Without a doubt in my mind. We knew that a pump was coming for Shishi. All right. So we already hit the long. We got a massive pump on this long ball. Yeah. 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 Send it, baby. Send it. That is a pump. I'm taking my money. I'm moving my stop. I'm so happy I stayed for this. What a massive pump to the upside for Bitcoin. Way away from the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame. That is unsustainable. I just took it. Thank you, friends. Adam and Eve, double bottom to the upside. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, man. We did it, baby. We did it. It looked like I didn't have the sauce. It looked like I was another losing trader. It looked like I couldn't hang with the hangs, right? But we banged with the bangs, and we pumped to the pumps, baby. And we got it done. We got it done. And that's the key. That's what we're looking for. Okay? That's what we're talking about. We get this continuation move to the upside, and we get this strength. Now I can re-enter another scalpolowski. I still like the long on that 15. You can stay where you're at. I took profits because it was unsustainable. It was too big of a pump. It was a good pump. We got a pumpelowski out of it over there. Nice pump for Bitcoin. Did the NASDAQ respond in kind? It did. We did get a pump for the NASDAQ. So whatever's happening, it seems to be adjusting for some type of dovishness. You know, I go weak as, dovish or hawkish when it comes to Bitcoin, right? But it seems to be, manifesting something there. So, yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. Nice little pump there on that inverted head and shoulder for BTC. Back to the upside, man. I like what's happening as we continue to move further and further up. I couldn't let go of the stream till we saw this bigger pump. I had to sit tight here and go at it, man. Revenge trade for the win. You're funny, man. Hey, shout out to Legendary Gake, man. God bless you for winning the other day. Did Magician Sam Price did it again. Let's go. Sam the man, you did it for all you do. Amazing attitude vibe, man. I love the channel, man. It's crazy that we pulled that one off. We waited for so long to get that move. And bang. And honestly, had I ended the show, I might have missed it. So that, because I stayed here with each and every one of you, because I got to rest my eyes. I usually take a break. My kids maul me. The second I get out the show, their kids go, "Hey, say, Daddy." And then I get to say, "Hey, what's up?" And we got all sorts of stuff going on today, too. So shout out to everyone that kicked it with me, that stayed with it. And again, the same bigger picture is still there. We're still in the bigger dilemma. Like, we want a quick little long, but it doesn't change the bigger picture. We're still, what you want to do now is you want to see this turn into a flag above the 200 moving average on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute. And I'll keep you guys, into this and focused on this in the trading group. We'll be going over this. So this is kind of the next idea that we're looking for. You kind of want to start setting this trade up before it happens, get it ready, get it into position. It's not about my trades and all my money. It's about you and your trades and how you're doing it right now, right? God has taken care of me. I ended up on YouTube. Like, things are going well. Like, I want to make sure that things go well for you. Like, that's what my dedication is. That's what I'm here for every day. That's what I do, you know? So, beautiful move for, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And again, we'll find out if this is going to be just, you know, one of those, like, you know, quick pumps that's not too real, or a pump that's really sustainable by using the 1 minute time frame. The 1 minute is going to teach you what you have to be doing. It's going to show you the sauce, right? So you can kind of get into it. So this is what I do. I start setting up the trade before it happens, all right? Because, you know, how are you going to trade the 1 minute if you're not ready for it, right? So the next target would be 72,741. All right, it suggests that we are going higher. And then the target would be 71,169, all right? Might even give most of what I made, 300 for another 13. You turn that into a $1,600, $1,700 day, and then you're at 12 o'clock, you know. That would be like 2, 3 o'clock, and we'd still have all afternoon. I like Wednesdays to trade, so. Shout out to the 1,000 people, beautiful souls here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all. And, yeah, I got to bounce on out of here, man. That was an amazing trade. We're going way overtime here, an extra half an hour. So, 24-hour stream. Yeah, let's go all day long. I'm going to tell my wife we're going to go all day long, man, and then just, like, completely collapse. They want a 24-hour stream. Should I do it? No. It was 24 hours, just one time. I'll just go. You can bring me a pee bottle and some food once in a while, and we'll just keep it going. No? No? Was it the pee bottle that I said, or what was it? What? Why are you looking at me like that? Is it something I did? What?
Why are you entertaining this nonsense?
What nonsense?
This nonsense.
What is the? Is it this nonsense or the? Is it this or this nonsense? I don't know which one is it. Like what I'm saying now, or like.
First of all, you're already like 32 minutes past your stream.
We got the pump.
All right, good.
I was gonna look like a fool. Everyone called me, you know, the bad. We were losing, and then the trade went well, and I won the trade. Right. Had I not stayed, it would.
Get off while we're on top. Come on.
All right. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. The wifer says it's over, and so it's no 24-hour stream. I love you all. I appreciate you. I'm watching to see if this can play out here right now on the 1 minute time frame for a continuation to 72,741. Stop loss at 71,169. Would be a beautiful little move here. I'd like to see the 21 get into price there to give me a better risk to that move. But we got the pump. The 15-minute still looks good. The 4-hour got that move against price action. Let's see if we can get the continuation. I'll show you BOOKMAP one last time so you can see it too. It does have liquidity on both sides. We're not out the woods just yet, but hey, it's better than nothing, right? We did get the long move to the upside. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you so much. I thank you so much for being with me every single day. Watch this 1 minute. It looks like we might get a continuation here to the upside to get more pump out of this day. We need more pump. I like going pump and making my lips pop when I say pump. Shout out to everybody. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on in. The secret to success is getting started. You're not going to be great to start, but you're not going to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. That's what it is. I knew I had it. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless. What an amazing stream. Thank you much for a great ending. I'll see you guys tomorrow.